Good morning from Buchanan Street here in Glasgow, and you join me for a journey across to Scotland's capital, Edinburgh, this morning. And I'll be travelling on ScotRail's Express Class 385 service, but with a bit of a difference. We'll be going in first class to see what it's like. It's something that I haven't done before, and I've seen a couple of other YouTubers do it. So it'll be interesting to see what it is actually like and whether it's worth the upgrade cost, which will be revealed later on in the video. So let's head across to Queen Street Station and we can jump aboard our train.
Queen Street Station is one of two main railway terminals in Glasgow, opened in 1842 and now serving various stations across both the Central Belt and the Highlands of Scotland, including destinations like Inverness, Perth, Oban and even Fort William via the famous West Highland Line. However, today we'll be taking the comparatively short and mundane journey on one of Scotland's busiest railway routes to its capital, Edinburgh. So having bought our tickets from the machine, we had just 2 minutes before our train was due to depart, leaving just enough time to board the rear carriage as we now take a quick look at the route for today's 0815 service. Now there are actually 4 separate routes you can take when travelling between Glasgow and Edinburgh, with 2 of these leaving Glasgow Central via either Carstairs or Shotts, and the other 2 leaving Queen Street via either Airdrie and Bathgate or Falkirk High, the latter being the route we're taking today. After leaving Queen Street, our ScotRail Express service calls at Croy, Falkirk High, Polmont, Linlithgow and Haymarket before arrival into Edinburgh Waverley 45 minutes and 46 miles later, giving us an average speed of 61 miles per hour. This makes the route via Falkirk the quickest way to travel between Scotland's 2 largest cities, and as a result sees a train leaving every 15 minutes during peak times, with this frequency dropping to every half an hour the rest of the time. Departing Queen Street bang on time, we made our way to the front of the 8-carriage train, where it became much quieter and we had the entire first class compartment to ourselves.
No items blocking any doorway or any aisle. Ready for inspection, thank you.
And being thoroughly underway out of the Glasgow suburbs, let's now take the chance to have a look around at the interior of ScotRail's Class 385s. First class seating is laid out in a 2+1 configuration with plenty of tables of 2 and 4 as well as a handful of solo seats. The seat itself features a smart grey colour scheme with a winged leather headrest as well as adjustable armrests, standard plug sockets at every seat, a small amount of recline controlled by the little handle on the right, an overhead reading light and a blind to block out any sun or bright light. In comparison, standard class seating is laid out in a more dense 2+2 configuration with mostly airline seating as well as some tables of 4. The seats featuring the standard blue ScotRail maquette are the notorious ironing board style of design with armrests and a shared plug socket. Definitely less comfortable and spacious than in first, but still perfectly adequate for the short commuter routes that they serve. So having had a look around at the interior, we relaxed and enjoyed the scenery out of the window on this surprisingly clear and sunny day.
We'll soon arrive at Polmont.
As we approach Linlithgow on the 23 Archavon Viaduct, the outline of the impressive palace and church appears into view. This was one of the principal residences of the monarchs of Scotland in the 15th and 16th centuries, being the birthplace of Mary Queen of Scots before falling into its current ruinous state. With the sight of tram tracks beside us and Murrayfield Stadium looming overhead, we soon pass Haymarket Depot, where ScotRail's in-7 sets are maintained. Some of the last HSTs in regular service, I travelled on these sets earlier in the year, so be sure to check out the video if you haven't already. And with departure from Haymarket, our short but enjoyable hop across central Scotland comes to an end, meaning it's time to look at the fares for today's journey. Starting off in standard class, an anytime single will cost £19.10 without a rail card, with a return setting you back £32.60. Now moving on to first class, which, as you will have seen, gives you access to a much quieter section of the train, as well as much more comfortable and spacious seating. The upgrade cost for a single ticket is just £4, with this increasing to £13 for an anytime return. So, is it worth it? Well, we paid just £15 each for our tickets with a rail card, so I think it was worthwhile for today's short hop during morning rush hour, given the amount of space and extra comfort we got. However, in the future I'd probably just stick to standard class, as it's perfectly adequate for the short journey time and is usually not too busy in my experience.
And after that quick 15-minute journey, we arrived into Edinburgh. And overall, the seat itself was actually pretty comfortable, and we only paid about £2.50 each to upgrade. So I'd say if you're a commuter and regularly travel between the two cities, then it's definitely worth paying that little bit extra to guarantee you a seat on the early morning trains, especially when they're busy. Plus, you get a guaranteed plug socket for any work on board. And yeah, it was a really nice journey this morning. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next adventure.